This is episode 38 and a half of Stay on Topic, a very special episode of Stay on Topic.
Yes, I got pregnant.
Bob?
I had my first period.
I've got the clap. And we're live at Captain Morgan's, semi-live at Captain Morgan's for karaoke night.
Yes.
This was the original concept for the entire podcast, to go
Yeah.
from place to place, and we hunkered down in two different places, never made it out. So a year and a half later,
Yeah, finally on the road.
finally realized.
Out of our parents' basement.
Or a living room of a half-empty house, and James's swanky penthouse apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who's up for Papa John's?
Wow.
Okay.
No.
I mean, it was shitty pizza anyway.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
really
no,
his...
I kind of liked it.
Did
but
you?
Not
Really?
No.
That was his worst offense. Anyway, to my left is James Post. James, where can we find you on Twitter?
At PostJam9.
And to my right is Bob Ricotta.
At Bob Ricotta.
And I am Chris Gill, and I can be found at Giltastrophe. Fun news week?
Yeah, I just before we started, I saw a Twitter post that said that President Trump had nominated Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court on Monday. That was 2 weeks ago. That's what it feels like.
Yes, it does. It does. That does feel like that was several news cycles ago.
And it was at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, he was just a wrecking ball at NATO, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And continues to be.
And you know what? It worked. I mean,
In what way?
he got some kind of commitment for them to pay more money. I think that they are more incentivized to pony up more of their share.
Macron said they didn't agree to anything.
I think that I think
You
they're
think the
gonna-
pressure
they're-
is there now?
I think so. I think so.
There are people saying the interview that Trump gave the Sun could actually end up with Theresa May being out of power.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
That's what happens when you go into a ally country and don't understand their politics. As it turns out, a prime minister could be voted out and they don't have to wait 4 years.
Yeah.
I was most impressed how he told all the European countries if they keep letting immigrants in, it's going to change the culture of their countries.
Wow, that's so ironic. I don't even know where to begin with it.
Yeah, that to me that was the stunner. I was like, wow, no more dog whistles. Nope, just put it out
Well,
there.
I just know, but going to the home of colonialism and talking about problems with immigration is a little tone deaf.
Yeah, so I mean, and we're pretty sure Kavanaugh is going to get. He's going to be the next member of the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
I don't see anything that can.
If I were a betting man, yes. There's still a couple moderate women House or Senate members who could derail that.
Susan Collins is not going to flip. She never does. Everybody always acts like she's going to. And it never happens.
I think in the end you're right, but maybe it's just my liberal optimism holding up some kind of hope. But yeah, you're right. Kavanaugh's going to be on the bench for like 40 years.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was part of this weird news cycle too. The fact that it was reported that was basically a deal made with Anthony Kennedy.
Really? That I had not heard.
That this was it New York Times reporting?
Yeah.
That basically he agreed to step down when they told him it would be Kavanaugh because Kavanaugh clerked for him.
See, and
That's some West Wing shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in all the coverage of Kennedy, they kept using the word moderate. He was
no.
not
No.
a moderate.
No.
You know,
He was a solid conservative that sometimes cast some surprising votes on social issues.
right. Yes. But he was not.
And they're almost more libertarian votes.
I mean, this will change the court, but not as much as people think it will. Now, what worries me is Notorious RBG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I've been thinking
She is
about
holding.
by her fingernails.
She will do anything she can not to resign.
Yeah,
But-
she'll die in that chair.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be in the next session.
Yeah.
It could be next week. I mean, not a young woman.
No. On to other news. James and I have finished Luke Cage season 2. Bob,
Haven't even started.
Haven't even started.
It's summer, man. I don't watch TV in the summer. I'm outside.
So that means we can never talk about media.
Nah, fuck Bob. The strangest ending to any of these Marvel series?
Maybe. God, it was so solid for 11 episodes.
11 really good, tight episodes.
Yes.
And then it just does a 180.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen any episode of television do what Luke Cage season 2 did.
And not in a good way.
Just a baffling way.
Okay.
Yeah, tonally.
I found myself, I sat and watched it with my wife, Becky, and I found myself, when it was over, asking her questions because I didn't quite understand what had happened.
I felt really dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, "What? Did I miss a key line of dialogue somewhere?"
Well, I didn't quite understand why Bushmaster left. Apparently, I missed something.
That did bother me this season. Like Bushmaster gets captured, escapes, captured, escapes.
Yeah.
Captured, escapes. Like 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
It's like that.
But he was such a good character that
he
I
was
didn't
great.
mind that.
Yeah, he was probably. There's Purple Man way at the top.
Yeah.
Bushmaster second.
Yeah. And an actor I really would like to see more of.
Yeah, for sure. And the way the whole Cage thing's going could be Serpent Society. Great to see Danny Rand. Great to see what they did with Danny Rand
Oh, yeah.
and how they directed that actor to play Danny Rand.
So much better than in his own series or in The Defenders.
And I kept waiting for that talk that he and Luke had to pay off,
Yeah.
and it just never did.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, the final fight with Bushmaster, this is where, the Danny Rand kind of channels through Luke Cage, and it was a pretty weak final fight.
Yeah.
Like the mid-level fight they had on the bridge, much more compelling than
Yeah. That's fundamentally the ending left me feeling like I started the season and made it through 10 episodes feeling like this was about sort of a redemption or a rising arc
Yes.
for Luke, and then at the end I'm supposed to think of this as his fall.
I got a real Mr. Fix-It vibe from it.
I know.
That was a Hulk storyline,
Okay.
a Gray Hulk storyline, where he transitioned into the role that Luke Cage did at the end of season 2. I was
Okay.
like, are they lifting the Mr. Fix-It storyline and applying it to Luke Cage?
Yeah.
That was all I could think of. And if so, why, and why so suddenly?
Yeah. No, it's so many things I loved about how they did that season, and then just fell apart.
Yep, and not really a spoiler, nothing about Infinity War or
No.
what's happening in the world at
But
large.
yeah, and it's with no timeline, it's hard to judge these things. They can pretend that this aligns with the regular timeline in any way they want.
Yeah. So yeah, that was another head scratcher from Marvel's Netflix series.
Yes.
Haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet, but it's kicking some ass at the box office.
Yeah.
Anyone surprised?
A little bit. I wasn't sure if there was going to be legs for a perceived to be lighter movie in the wake of Infinity War, but apparently there were.
Yeah. Infinity War is pretty fucking heavy. But the reason we're here, it's Captain Morgan's, is because it's karaoke night. anyone who knows us knows how much we loathe the thought of standing in front of strangers and singing.
Speak for yourself.
I don't even do that shit in front of friends on Rock Band, let alone in front of strangers in a bar.
Yeah.
So hats off to anybody that can sing karaoke. I don't have, as it is, I sound like a Muppet with a sinus infection. So singing is just not in the cards for me. But we did a little poll out and about in the interwebs.
Bob, are you still here?
I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
No,
good.
just-
Good.
Just enjoying the banter.
We put it to everybody, the karaoke songs that they either sing or would sing if they had the nerve and or talent. Got some really good feedback on the interwebs and via text message, which is weird. Don't usually get that. So I'm going to scroll through and find that.
All right. Do you want me to kill time while you scroll?
Yes, please. 'Cause
All right. Well, while I haven't really been consuming a lot of media, I have been enjoying the beautiful weather, and I've been enjoying the congressional race in the 23rd Congressional District of New York. It's kind of getting bizarre, and I won't go into it a lot because most of you don't live in the 23rd, don't care about the 23rd. It's just exciting to have the primary over with, and now it's a two-person race. James,
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on where we are right now?
It's good to see the race sort of shape up and see how it's going to play out. And right now, I'm not sure it's going to play out too much differently than previous races involving this incumbent.
So,
He's found it pretty easy to paint his Democratic opponents as he calls them extreme ethical liberals, and that's a strategy that's worked for him.
okay, and so here's what I came up with, and you tell me what you think of it. So I believe that Tracy Matrano, the Democratic challenger to Tom Reed, should take a page from the book of the homosexual community, and when somebody has a word they use as a slur, you adopt and co-opt that word and take all of its meaning out, take its meaning away, like the homosexual community did with the word queer. Queer used to be an extreme derogatory word. They've co-opted it, and now it's part of the gay culture. It's not a bad word anymore. So I think Tracy Matrano should do the same thing with extreme ethical liberal.
Well, the problem, I don't think, is with Ithaca or with liberal. It's with extreme. And obviously, for a couple of reasons, I can't really be in a position of giving advice to a political candidate.
Sure.
But I'm not sure embracing that label would work as well as you think it would.
Okay.
Just because the point is not the words, the point is the reaction of the base that he's talking to.
Yes, but neither base is going to win this election.
No.
There's a 20 to 25% of the electorate who is still swayable, and that's where the election's going to be won.
How many of those people ever really show up in a midterm?
Well, we have one in the audience here. You're right. A midterm election, it's an off-year election. Trump is the wild card. We don't know what Trump is going to do to voter turnout.
Yeah.
Depending on how the Democrats play the Supreme Court nomination, that could either whip up the Democratic base or it could whip up the Republican base.
Or both.
Yeah. So it's too soon to tell if this is going to be a regular off-year election, or, special elections up until this point have outperformed previous years. So the excitement.
You're saying for the Democrats.
Yes, for Democrats. So, but then again, we're looking at 4.5 months out.
Yeah.
Can you?
And we just talked about how the last 4 days feel like 2 weeks.
Correct.
who knows? We could be at war with Papua New Guinea in 4.5 months.
And
I have no idea what Tracy Matrano's position is.
New Guinea?
Yeah.
Well, Matrano would suggest she is partly Guinea, at least.
Wow. That didn't take long.
I'm Italian. I'm very Italian. We can
You're
do
allowed
that.
to do that?
We're allowed to do that. These are my people.
But listeners can't tell if you're Italian.
Oh, they can tell. Forget about it.
I could pretend to be black. I am black, as far as you know.
Well, now I've completely lost my train of thought.
You're imagining me black now, aren't you?
A little bit.
It really doesn't work.
Well, I'm pretty much out of stall tactics, Chris.
Well, speaking of not black, on karaoke we have Vanilla Ice. So some of the input we got from readers, friends, family, and otherwise, let's see, from our old buddy Eric Wenzel, the song, and Wenzel's can sing. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Wenzel can actually sing, and he's a hell of a front man. We know this from Rock Band.
Yeah.
His top 5 are, this is a weird one, Jeremy, Pearl Jam.
Okay.
That's not, to me,
That
that's
could
not.
have made my list if I'd thought about it.
It's not a song you want to, like, sing in a bar
I
with
had-
a bunch of people.
I had Daughter on my list at one point, so.
Fucking
Really? I mean, Eddie Vedder is a great front man, and he puts a lot of theatrics into his vocals.
Yeah.
When we get to my list, I'll talk a little bit about my criteria, but I can see a Pearl Jam song.
It's just a downer. Like, why would, I don't know.
All right,
What's wrong with the downer?
Moving on.
He also has Take It On the Run by REO.
Yep.
Which, just a good bar song.
Just a great song, yeah.
Yep. Sister Christian, duh. The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. A great fucking karaoke
Yes.
song. And Africa by Toto.
Little cliche, but
Yeah, what the Africa Toto boom.
how did that happen?
I don't know, but I think it's run its course now.
I hope so. I mean, it's a great song, but
Let's not ruin the song.
I hate to see it become a cliche or.
And I think a lot of the younger generation picked up on it ironically, and it's like, no, that's good shit.
This is genuinely good. This
Yeah.
isn't ironically good. Fucking hipster,
Ugh,
douchebags.
millennial hipsters, they're the worst. Lynn Brady would do Shoop, Salt and Pepper.
Okay,
Eh,
Kokomo,
okay.
Beach Boys / who's the dude from the TV show?
that's going to be a little vague for me.
Cedric the Entertainer,
No, the Full House guy, the handsome.
Dave Coulee.
John Stamos?
Thank you. Kiss by Prince.
There you go.
You've
You could really sex that up.
man, that takes balls to do that one in front of other people. Sweating Bullets by Megadeth.
You know what? I really wish that Prince, or that Kiss had a song called Prince.
Give them time; they will.
Yeah.
And me and Bobby McGee, the Japanese.
I considered some Janis Joplin. I mean, she's just
That's
well.
Just
I mean,
do the Chris Christopherson version.
see, and I was thinking the Grateful Dead version.
nah.
So, but when we put these lists together, I assume that I could at least do these songs competently. It's not like saying, "Well, I could never sing Me and Bobby McGee. I wouldn't put it on my list." If it goes on the list, we're making an assumption that I'm
you can execute.
capable of not embarrassing myself.
Right.
Which is why you put the Queen of the Night aria from Madame Butterfly on your list.
I put the whole Kiss of the Spider Woman soundtrack.
Yeah.
Doug Bronson suggested, his suggestions were Summer Nights, really a duet.
Sure, but
Yeah.
Really a
a
duet.
fun duet.
Sure, yeah.
Calls to mind a Park and Rec episode.
Or the Arrested Development episode where Michael and Maybe did the Afternoon Delight karaoke without knowing what Afternoon
You're
Delight
right.
was. Classic. He also suggested Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Weird for Doug. If you know Doug, that's a weird one. Wanted Dead or Alive,
Sure.
karaoke
Yeah.
classic.
Sure.
The Bad Touch. He did not list the artist. I don't know who he's talking.
Bad
Bloodhound Gang.
Oh,
Okay,
Jesus. Of
okay.
course.
And Purple Rain, kind of basic.
And, you know, a song with Purple Rain, there's like 4 minutes of music after the last vocal.
Yeah.
So unless you're going to be going there, up there going, ooh, 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 for 3 minutes.
See, I wish I could hear more of that.
Yeah, please. You're going to play us out
You should see the
tonight.
waveform. It looks nice.
Charlotte Smith also chose Purple Rain and Sister Christian. Also chose Stay?
Stay by like,
I don't know.
stay just a little bit longer.
Oh, maybe.
Either that or
Maybe.
the Lisa Loeb Stay.
Yeah.
Ambiguous.
She also chose Before He Cheats,
Oh, God.
as did Stella Dupree,
Yeah.
who also chose Pink Houses. Weird one. Born to Run, basic.
Classic.
And if you got the pipes, you could probably really crush it. And let's see, Living on a Prayer, another.
It's unfortunate that Springsteen really didn't have the pipes for that.
She's got a thing for Jersey guys, apparently. Any,
And now we have Pool. This won't fuck up the audio at all. Probably should have put a sign on that. God damn it. The best laid plans. Andrew Buffenmeyer, or as we like to call him, Lord Buffington.
Da-da-da!
Thank you. He chose Chattahoochee, which surprised me.
Yeah. He has a strong background with country music.
Okay. All right. I'm a Believer, the Smash Mouth version.
Okay.
Weird.
I hate Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
How you feel about Journey, I feel about Smash Mouth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm a More Than a Feeling, Boston karaoke classic.
Sure.
If you have the hair to try Brad Delp, more power to you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, As She's Walking Away, the Zac Brown Band.
Don't
No.
know it.
I hear a lot about the Zac Brown Band. I'm not really familiar.
I saw a Zac Brown cover band.
Okay.
The funniest story about karaoke was relayed to us by John Simcoe, who sang at karaoke, "I'm so excited," but
Yeah.
in the most deadpan Eeyore voice. And I'm like,
I enjoyed that.
God damn it, I want a video of that so badly. Paul Peters had the best suggestion of anyone, and I will get to that last, but Murder by Numbers by the Police,
Yeah.
Do It by Rollins Band, Pepper by Butthole Surfers,
Love it.
Chinese Rock by the Ramones, and my favorite of his picks was Faith No More's Just a Man. You have, when you're done listening to this podcast, check out that song and tell me that wouldn't just kill on karaoke. It's fucking great.
Why would anyone do Faith No More as karaoke?
Gotta hear the song.
Patton has 6.5 octaves of vocal range.
Yeah, only a masochist
That's-
would do that.
Most trained opera singers have 3.
This song is, this is, I wish I had picked it, but we tried to keep ours. Well, I'll speak for myself and I'll start off. My list was based on, if I could sing, these are the songs I'd want to sing. And they're just songs that would get everyone involved.
Yeah.
You know, you're in a bar, you're having fun, you want to listen to cool shit. So I didn't choose anything too obscure or anything. But my list is going to start with Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed, released in 1977 for the movie Smokey and the Bandit. It's just a great old-timey country hook with some super fun verses to sing. And it's a song everybody knows and people can sing along with, or at least enjoy,
Yeah.
if you do it well.
It does take some doing.
Yes. Yeah, Jerry Reed ain't no joke.
Yeah.
I don't know if the man breathes through the entire song until, like, the banjo solo.
That's how he died.
God bless him. That's mine. James, what do you got?
Oh, so first up, I have Creep by Radiohead.
How'd I know?
Going with the not uplifting songs that everyone can get into.
Yep. Thanks
and,
for
you know,
ruining that theme.
For those who have difficulty with the confidence necessary to do karaoke, this song is the opposite of confidence. So it's a great place to start from. And it fits in with my theme, which is songs that I would actually be able to sing.
Okay.
So I'm a bass with maybe a little bit of baritone range. So that's basically what I was looking for, was songs that I could sing if I wanted to.
So,
and Creep does actually have some high notes in it.
let me ask you this. Have you always been a bass, or have you smoked yourself into a bass?
No, I was a bass long before I started smoking.
Bass. How low can you go?
I could sing lower before I started smoking.
Because I used to be a baritone, but now I'm very bass.
No, some of those low notes I had when I was also singing regularly in chorus in college and stuff. Some of those notes are gone. They just kind of buzz because of the smoking. So, but no, I mean it has some high notes, but I can manage them. I've done it in Rock Band,
We've heard
well
things.
enough. I love the fact, I'm looking up just some background information on the songs. I love the fact that Tom York is actually on the record saying that he hates the radio edit, the one that removes the line "so fucking special." He recorded it, and he wishes that he hadn't, because he says it ruins the song.
Huh.
And
I don't think it does. Do you?
he says it takes the anger out, and I get that. So very special makes it sound more honest than I think it's intended to be.
Yeah.
But the other thing I found on Songfacts, which I thought was interesting, was the 3 hard guitar hits right before the chorus comes in was actually Johnny Greenwood trying to fuck up the song because he hated it. And yet they still went with the first take. That one on the album.
Bob, what do you got for your first one?
Well, as a general rule, I wanted to do something that was a crowd pleaser. And this one gets a little bit away from that rule. It's Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. It's not exactly obscure, but it's not one of their
Right.
bigger hits.
I think it's better known than it used to be. It's gotten more, more cultural.
It's been in a couple
cachet.
movies. It was in Shaun of the Dead, and that helped build awareness. It's just 3.5 minutes of pure energy and fun.
Yeah.
And, it shows Freddie Mercury's incredible voice, and you can really camp it up and just play to the crowd in that one. And that's kind of what drew me to this song. And a lot of these songs are the theatric nature of them.
Yeah.
You're not just singing, you're performing.
Yeah, I had to eliminate, a bunch of songs that I would have put on here, but it was dependent on one or more other backing or supporting vocals.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to put the fucking Time Warp on here, but I would need 2 other female vocalists to do that.
Oh God, that'd be so much fun.
Right? To do it well, you would need at least 2 others. Anything by the B-52s, you're going to need at least 2 other people to do that.
True confession, I hate the B-52s.
What? Who hurt you?
I just can't stand them. They're
Who
a
hurt
novelty act.
They're the best novelty acts.
They're like Barnes and Barnes.
Oh, come on, man. Oh. Yeah, I was really disappointed I couldn't put them on. But I could put Warren Zevon on. Lawyers, Guns, and Money. The 1978 classic. Actually, that was the last song on the Excitable Boy album.
Yep.
That'd be an opening song on any other fucking album.
Yeah.
Excitable Boy is front to back, an amazing album.
Yeah, cover to cover, old school terminology there. Just great album. This is my favorite song off that album. It's upbeat. It's got that little element of danger to it. My favorite Zevon song in total crowd pleaser, especially at a bar. Mm-hmm. Just a great bar song. James, what's your next pick?
So I've got maybe a little bit of an obscure one. I've got the Lido Shuffle by Boz Scaggs.
I had to look that one up.
That's got a great bass line. It's a good driving song.
It's a literal shuffle. It's just got this drive to it. From Boz Scaggs' 1976 album Silk Degrees, and he wrote it with David Paich.
Peach?
Paich. He's a keyboardist. He's mostly associated with Toto.
Huh.
But it's a song where nobody knows the lyrics to the song. Nobody knows the lyrics.
Lido missed the boat that day he left the shack. Not nobody.
But no, I think it's a shame nobody knows, because there's really a lot of great use of language in there. Just phrases that just out of context don't make any sense, but they work so well for the tone of the song. At a Tombstone bar in a juke joint car, he made a stop just long enough to grab a handle off the top. Next stop, Chi-Town. Lido put the money down, let him roll. Said, one more job, ought to get it. One last shot before we quit it. One for the road.
Ooh.
You know, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, for those who don't know it, it's the one that goes, Lido, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Now I know it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had to look that up before we recorded just to know what the hell it was.
And I was a little off key there, which is why I was too high. It's actually pretty good from my range, which also another reason it made my list.
I love how the more we drink, we're actually starting to do karaoke.
Yeah, we're actually
on
singing.
the
Yeah,
podcast. That's
Bob's already sung like 3 times.
pretty great. You will not hear that from me.
But you know, it's a song that's generally considered to be about a drifter trying to make his like one last big score. So I like that theme too. And it's also mostly sort of a talk singing style outside of the chorus. So it's really something that takes more confidence than ability to pull off.
Yeah.
I like that in a karaoke song.
Bob, what do you like in your next karaoke song?
Well, this is definitely the most controversial song on my list. It's the NWA's 1988 hit, "Fuck the Police." And you know, like
I will pay money to see you do that.
Like most things in life, it's all about being aware of your audience. You don't you don't do this.
How aware are you of your audience right now?
Fairly unaware. But you know, this song it's a crowd pleaser if you get the right crowd.
Yeah.
You know, anybody 30?
No crowd in this town.
30 to 40.
And even, I mean, after the NWA biopic,
Yeah.
a whole new generation got
And-
introduced to this.
I mean, none of us pretend to be rap aficionados, but tell me this wouldn't be a fun song to perform.
That would be a hell of
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
And the nice thing is, like, there's 3 or 4 parts, so you could bring your whole crew up and you could do it, you know. It's a group song.
Yeah.
So you could perform it solo. You could bring your boys
And
up.
you know damn
You
well
could
the
bring all
crowd.
of Wu-Tang up into the karaoke booth.
Hey, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. But, yeah, so, you know, I'm not trying to make a political statement about law enforcement. I just think it's a fun song that'll get the crowd going.
And the crowd would participate in.
Yes.
Just like my next pick, Love Stinks by the Jay Giles Band.
Wow.
1980. The most fun breakup song you will ever hear. It's got a nifty little hook to it, and so easy to get a crowd involved into it. I mean,
Yeah.
just easily my favorite Jay Giles song, just because it is so fucking hooky.
And how many more people got into that song from The Wedding Singer
Yeah,
that might not have even been familiar?
yeah. Which is a goddamn shame, because Jay Giles is great.
Yeah.
Actually downloaded their discography once. When I left this very bar,
They made a lot of money off of you downloading their discography, Gil.
no one made any money off me in the last 15 years when it comes to music. Speaking of music, James, what do you like next?
So I've got an odd one next. Not necessarily unknown, but one with a strange
Because Creep
background.
was not odd at all.
I've got Mac the Knife.
Yeah, that one, I can't picture you doing it. That's my problem.
So, you know, this is... Sorry, I have to do the background. On this one, I love the background. So this is a song written by German composer Kurt Weill with lyrics by German poet Bertolt Brecht. This premiered
If you
in,
ever do sing this in karaoke, you have to tell everybody before you start singing that same information.
This actually premiered as part of Kurt Weill's Three-Penny Opera in 1928. That show was in turn based on the 18th century English show The Beggar's Opera, which was written by John Gay. But more likely, people are familiar with the version that was popularized in the 50s by Bobby Darin. And it's a great swinging tune. And another one that really takes more swagger than it does
More
singing
swingers.
ability.
I'm sure swingers
it
are
could take
swung
some
to
swingers.
it. Yeah.
And it's about a pimp.
I'm not going to judge.
It's about a pimp who kills his own prostitutes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever paid attention to the song. At the end, he starts listing the names of women. Those are the women that Mac the Knife, who is a pimp, has killed because they did not have his money.
And didn't McDonald's pick up that song for like a 1990s promo
Yes.
about being open 24 hours? And used it in all their marketing for that for like 3 or 4 years?
But I love the fact that this is like proto-jazz from a German composer from 1928. And it turned into a 50s, almost a swing standard.
And a
And
McDonald's marketing vehicle.
it's about a knife-wielding pimp murderer.
Then you have to do it. Bob, what would you murder on stage?
I would probably never do this song just because it would be out of any range I'd hope to have. But Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler,
Right.
it's just,
I can't believe you're the only one that had that anywhere.
And just do it the way Meatloaf would have done it if he'd recorded it.
Yeah.
pardon?
Every time we mention that song, Lord Buffington has to bring up that it was originally supposed to be for Meatloaf.
And I can totally, they both love their scarves.
Yeah, that's true. I'd love to see them do it as a duet.
Yes. But that plays right into my whole, I like theatrical songs. I like more than just standing there singing. I want to perform for the audience. And this song allows you to be bombastic and big. And you will get the crowd to sing along. Everybody loves this song.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And if you do it well, that crowd's going to fucking be right behind you.
Yeah.
So crowd pleaser, big, theatrical, hits all my sweet spots.
Speaking of sweet, my next pick is Fox on the Run.
It's like we planned that.
We're so good at segues after a few
I
drinks.
love sweet, by the way.
They're I just love that era.
Yeah.
And that glam culture.
Glam is so overlooked as a genre.
Oh, God, it was so good. And produced, like, a lot more glam songs would have been on my list if it wasn't dependent on having other
There's
people
a
love.
lot of harmony and glam,
Yeah.
which is what I like
a
about it.
ton. Yeah.
I really wanted to do Matthew Sweet's Girlfriend. I thought it was a little too obscure, but right along that whole glam,
Yeah.
power pop kind of
Yep.
aesthetic.
Yeah, I totally dig that era. And this is everyone. When you think of Sweet, you think of Ballroom Blitz. Not a great karaoke song, really.
And not
It's-
that representative of the group.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I just don't feel like I don't feel like you can listen to that one song and think, I know Sweet.
No, actually, Fox on the Run is the first song that the band actually wrote. Everything else was written for him. It was released in 1974. Just big hook.
Yeah.
Huge hook. Great party song. Probably couldn't get as much audience participation in it. But
No.
it would just be a shitload of fun to sing.
Yeah. I think more people know the lyrics to Lido Shuffle, actually.
Well, they know the chorus.
Yeah.
What's the chorus of your next song?
The chorus to my next song is Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
And you can suck a cock.
Oh,
I take that as a compliment. I feel like that was an endorsement of
I
some
was
kind.
so fucking pissed at our text exchange when we were trading lists.
You got to bring this up?
I wanted this on my list so fucking bad,
Too bad.
and you got to it first. So,
Yes.
yeah, I hope you get venereal disease off a public toilet. But go on.
So to begin with, I do have to apologize to Japanese or Japanese American listeners. I genuinely did not realize just how racist this song is, along with the entire album it comes from, until very recently. And, the song is just a fun, crowd-pleasing hook fest.
Oh yeah,
As long as you don't pay too much attention to the lyrics. And if nothing else, you have to acknowledge the historical significance of a concept album like Kilroy Was Here, which
It's
has the
out there.
distinction of being so bad it broke up the band.
yeah.
Totally Dennis DeYoung show, his baby. Other members had no clue what was going on. And when it was done and they did the tour, everybody was gone.
Yep.
But this song has lasted when
It's a.
nothing else from that album has.
I hate to say it.
It's
It's a super fun song,
Yeah.
and I hate it because I like old sticks better than the young sticks. But got to give it up for Mr. Roboto, man.
Yeah.
That was-
And it's in my range.
What's in your range, Bob?
Well, for next on my list, I go out of my comfort zone again. I go to the genre of country music for Friends in Low Places.
That was a
Okay.
great pick.
That is if you want to get a room singing, by the third line, people are singing along.
By the third word.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great end of the night. Link arms with the drunk next to you and everybody's friends for 3 minutes while this song is on.
Yep.
So it's just a fun song to bring the crowd in and get the crowd participating. And you get to sing in a southern accent. How fun is that?
Yeah.
That's cultural appropriation. My people do not appreciate it.
That album was really the launch of pop country.
Yes.
Country music has not been the same since Garth Brooks
Yes.
popped
And
it up.
There is a special place in hell reserved for him because of that.
Yeah.
But the song itself is
It's great.
it's immaculate. It's without flaw.
Yeah, terrific song. Just like my last pick, By the Darkness, I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
Which no one can sing.
Exactly. It was released in 2003 by the English. They tried to revive glam rock and metal.
Yeah.
And how much fun would it be if you had the chops to try to hit those Justin Hawkins notes? Like, holy shit, that would be a fun song to sing. Everybody would fucking love it.
I might be able to do that while Mike Tyson was using my balls for a speed bag.
I mean, everything the Darkness does is pretty brilliant. If you like that kind of aesthetic,
Why wouldn't you? It's big, it's bombastic.
doesn't
it's-
take itself too seriously
No.
at all. Love it. So that's my final pick. What's your final pick, James?
My final pick is maybe the most obvious one on this list, and it is Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond.
Yep, a staple.
A classic, and a classic for a reason.
You could have put any Neil Diamond song
Yeah.
on any of these lists, and
Yeah.
it plays.
And it's a love song with a great hook. It's a good sing-along, and it's generic enough, despite the use of the specific name, that it could really be about any romantic relationship. Like, it doesn't have it. It's not a breakup song. It's not, it doesn't have anything that could separate the audience from it.
Yeah.
And it has a great fake story behind it. Because for years we were telling each other that it was about the then young daughter of JFK and later U.S. ambassador to Japan, Caroline Kennedy. In 2014, in an interview on the Today Show, Neil Diamond admitted that he was basically working on the song and needed a name with 3 syllables. So that's the real story behind this. And as a karaoke song, I love it because it really lives and dies on those first 3 words. Where it began. Because you've got to have that right timbre. You've got to have that grumble.
Oh, okay. From a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
As a song, though, the sing-along portion, that's the big hook for karaoke.
Yeah. And that part's relatively easy.
Yeah.
But
that's why everyone likes doing it.
But that beginning is actually really low in a normal male singing voice. And it could take people by surprise when they're just thinking about the chorus. So it's kind of, it's sort of like waiting to see if somebody fucks up the national anthem in a ball game. Because, it starts there and it goes down. And it gets to the end of that first line, no, it's growing strong. I'm in the wrong register there.
I
but anyway.
love all the singing that's going on in this podcast this week.
But then I know it's growing strong. Anyway, that last word is low. If you're in the right key, which I'm not. So, like I said, I like the fact that it can take people by surprise, and they can realize they're singing a song they can't sing.
What can't you sing, Bob?
Well, as James said, my last song is almost a cliche, but "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey.
Yep, it's
I mean,
a standard.
Yeah,
It's a cliche, as is the band that recorded it.
perhaps so, but it's a crowd pleaser. And tell me that if you couldn't hit those notes, you wouldn't be.
I just really don't.
I
Like
know you
that.
don't. I know you don't like Journey.
But I get why everyone likes that song.
I mean, arena rock and karaoke go hand in hand.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. How many of those have we had on our
Exactly.
collective top 15?
Yeah.
Any honorable mentions that you desperately wanted on your list but couldn't, Mr. Roboto?
No, not really.
I had Escape the Pina Colada song. Just
Yeah.
a fun song.
I would have liked to have done "Get Off" by Prince, but I think that might be a touch on the. I mean, it's not obscure, but it's not, a household name like Little Red Corvette.
Right.
But it's one of those songs you can camp up or you can sex up.
69 positions in a one-night stand.
What's that?
69 positions in a one-night stand? Or?
Exactly.
Yeah, great. Drunks would eat that up,
Yeah.
So to speak.
especially when they went home with someone else or alone. I actually did karaoke when the home karaoke machines first started coming out.
Wow. We're going there.
I'm that old. Actually did Ministry Psalm 69.
Okay.
Look it up. That's it. That wraps up our first semi-live recording of Stay on Topic.
Yeah, good time, guys.
Great time.
Big thanks to Captain Morgan's for hosting.
Yes, Captain Morgan's in Corning, New York, for any
Yeah.
out-of-state listeners. Great place. This has been a favorite hangout of ours for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Felt very comfortable being here. Thanks, Denise and Tammy, for the hospitality.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, play us out.
Da, da, da. I got nothing, guys.
Wow, I'm just going to let that disappointment sit for a minute.
Are we
Moment of
still, are we still
silence.
live?
Yes.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. And I'm not going to go to the rest because he uses the N-word and I don't use that word.